Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Are You Gonna Eat That? I feel like I'm lacking joy today. I'm sorry if I feel like there's no joy, but hopefully when I speed up the video, it'll really come across that I'm having a good time. I am having a good time. I love being with you. I am. We are making a variation on pad thai. Why do I say variation? Because instead of using a traditional rice noodle, we are going to be using spaghetti squash. Take your spaghetti squash knife, which I've been using to chop things already, cut it right down the middle. It's a little tricky, it's tough. Oh, haha, success. So we have two halves now. We're gonna scoop out the seeds, and then you're scooping out your seeds, and you want to heat your oven to 450. Ta-da. It's a small spaghetti squash. It will do for our purposes. I'm just myself. So you want to get a baking sheet, put them face down. The secret to making sure it stays moist is to add some water to the pan itself before putting it in the oven. It's going to also keep the moisture in the squash. So my oven's already preheated. I'm going to throw it in. So there you go. And we're going to set timer for 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes and counting.
While that's happening, I have chopped some Brussels sprouts. I just did that ahead of time. So I'm thawing some ground turkey. Truth be told, it's not ground turkey at all. It's turkey burgers that I'm going to use as ground meat. Lately, I've been trying to avoid meat as a whole, but today I'm using some turkey because I have it left over. It doesn't feel very good these days, so I'm trying to cut a lot of meat out of my diet. I have to care for the animals too, and I want to do my part to take care of animals. So it's something to think about. So I'm going to cook my turkey, olive oil. As you know, I'm a big proponent of olive oil. It's like I own stock in it. I don't actually. I could be a spokesperson for olive oil though. Star extra virgin olive oil. To this, we're going to add the Brussels sprouts, the tomato, bean sprouts, egg, basil. Look at this adorable live basil plant I bought. It's so cute. Oh, I'm in the shadows. I'm in the light. Cute. I'm actually gonna add some tofu as well. And of course, mushrooms. Now that our meat has started to brown a little bit, we're gonna add in the mushrooms and the Brussels sprouts to start. I'm going on a little trip tomorrow, so I'm gonna use all these up. I wanna make sure I use everything I have in my house that I can. And if I need to bring a little to-go container on my trip, I will. So it's not only that you can use whatever's on hand and get rid of all the ingredients in your house, it is about really, saving some money on the go. Being a mobile girl for years, I've had to really think about like where my next meal is coming from, and sometimes I bring it. So now that we've added in some mushrooms, let's let this cook for a minute. It's also going to take there you are. It's also going to take a while for these Brussels sprouts to cook, so I am going to add these Brussels sprouts in. Whoa. So let's just let that sit for a minute. One thing I forgot to add was the garlic. I'm a big proponent of garlic. I love garlic. It has healing properties. Just really, when you're feeling a little under the weather, it's always nice to have a little garlic. It really puts a little pep in your step. And not only does it do that, it helps keep away the vampires. And not that vampires are enemies. Like they're actually just nice people with sharp fangs. Next time you see a vampire, maybe give them a hug instead of telling them to go away. I don't know. Anyway, so vampires. I'm gonna add in the garlic. Hey, there you are. This isn't really a pad thai at all. I just want to put it out there. Like I said, I was making a variation on pad thai. I'm gonna add some shoyu sauce and a little sesame oil. Again, I'm somebody who likes to keep my station clean while I'm working, so I'm just gonna take a moment to clean up a little of these scraps. What next? So I'm gonna chop my tomato. It smells really good. The sesame and the shoyu are really coming out. So remember, vine ripened tomatoes, my favorite. I want it to be kind of sliced, so like big, cut it in sixths or so, maybe eighths. Voila. I'm just gonna set these down so I don't make a mess. I'm adding just cracking 3 eggs into this dish. Give it a good stir. Just like really kind of get that egg blended so that it kind of attaches to everything. Okay. But that's it. And now, we're gonna prep our tofu. Remember how we cut our tofu last time? We drained it, sliced it, and then drained it again. Hi. Gonna slice it. So now that I'm over here. Thank you. And then, I'm just gonna get that in there. I don't know what I'm doing. So there you have it. The dish is cooking. Wannabe pad thai, which is not pad thai at all. Only ingredients that we haven't added, the spaghetti squash and the living basil. So I'm gonna throw this whole plant in the dish as well, like even the soil. I'm kidding. I mean, I guess you could, but I'm not a big fan of eating dirt. I know that that's a thing, but I'm not gonna eat dirt today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe another day. No dirt for me this time. I'll pull some of this off and actually add it after I take it off the heat, so that you have some raw basil in it. It's warm and kind of, wilted, I guess. That's what we're gonna call it. Be right back. So I'm just gonna give it a little taste to see what it's hot is what it is. Can you see the steam? Ooh. That's actually really good. It has really nice flavor. I have a big mouth. It's delightful. So now that I've turned off the heat, I'm going to add my sprouts. Sprouts have been added. I'm going to stir it in. Do you hear the helicopter? I do. And the last ingredient to add is the living basil. I'm going to pull some basil off this plant. I'm going to leave the leaves whole, like this, and just add them. And I want to stir them in. Not only does it add a nice flavor, it actually adds some color to your dish. Come with me, and I will show you. Look at that. Looks kind of fun. Aesthetically pleasing and tasty. So now that I have you here, we can have a little conversation. We have 4 minutes and 44 seconds to get to the truth. A bowl to put your spaghetti squash in. You're gonna want to turn off the oven, pull out your spaghetti squash. Now, reminder, this is gonna be very hot. I actually like to use 2 forks because it's so hot. Look at this. You can get a facial while you're doing it. Put 1 fork into the skin, right here. I'm afraid you can't see this. And then you just pull it. Look at that. It just falls out. It's so delightful. And you're just getting all the insides. And meanwhile, like, you can actually get a facial. That one is done. And then you take your second half and you do the same thing. Stab the back. Really just pull at it. And we have a beautiful bowl of spaghetti squash. Looks like noodles. I love it. It's so good. Look at that. It's so good. Now we take a bowl. We put some spaghetti squash. Reminder, I'm not seasoning the spaghetti squash. It has nothing on it, just water. From my other dish, I take some of this, put it on top. And now you have a beautiful little dish. So I'm gonna get a little spaghetti squash, some of my topping, I guess that's the word. And there you go. The sesame oil really came out. The flavor, the spaghetti squash balances out any kind of the strong flavors that might have been present in the, it's just a really nice flavor profile. Balanced, delicious. So there you have it. That meal took a little longer than the other meals we've made, but we used very simple ingredients. We didn't complicate things by making emulsions and all of that. So this meal takes less than an hour in your kitchen. I know we don't always have a lot of time, but this one is worth it. Are you gonna eat that? Because I already am.